Listen, if you ever felt broke, stuck, or like money just keeps slipping out of your hands, this right here is your wake-up call. Because the truth is, wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how you think. And most people? They never learn that part. They chase money, but never master the psychology behind it. So today, I'm breaking it all down for you. No fluff, no boring finance talk. Just real, raw money wisdom, explained in a way that actually hits. If you're ready to build wealth for real, buckle up. Because the psychology of money is about to change the way you look at your entire life. Alright, listen up for a second, because what I'm about to tell you might flip your whole understanding of money. Most people think money is all about numbers, budgets, calculators, spreadsheets. But that's the surface level. The real game, the part that decides whether you stay stuck or level up, is all happening in your mind. Your habits, your fears, your ego, your experiences. That's what shapes your financial life. In America, people love talking about making money, but almost nobody teaches you how to behave with money. Nobody explains how your emotions, panic, pride, insecurity, envy, control every financial move you make. You ever notice how two people can earn the same paycheck, live in the same city, have the same opportunities, but somehow one ends up stressed and broke while the other quietly stacks wealth? It's not luck. It's mindset. It's psychology. It's the internal game they never teach you in school. Your money decisions aren't logical. Not even close. They're emotional. They're tied to the things you went through as a kid. They're tied to what you saw at home growing up. They're tied to how safe or unsafe money felt to you when you were young. If you grew up watching bills pile up and stress fill the house, you probably developed a fear of losing money. If you grew up with nothing, you might chase money like it's survival because, for you, it was. And if you grew up comfortable, you might treat money casually because you never had to experience the pain of not having enough. That's why wealth isn't equal, even when opportunities look the same. Income doesn't make you smart. Savings don't make you superior. And having money doesn't mean you're good with money. That's a lie people tell themselves. I've seen people making thousands a week still feel broke because their habits destroy them. And I've seen people making minimum wage manage their money better than someone driving a luxury car. It's not about the dollar amount. It's about the mindset behind the dollar. Every dollar you spend tells a story. Every risk you take, or avoid, connects to something deeper inside you. And the truth is, most people aren't making fresh decisions, they're just repeating emotional patterns they never questioned. They react instead of thinking. They follow impulses instead of strategy. They chase validation instead of security. And until you understand why you think the way you think, you'll keep living the same financial script on repeat. You want to know the biggest financial advantage you can have in America? It's not money. It's not connections. It's not some magic business idea. It's self-control. It's patience. It's staying level-headed when everyone else is losing their minds. Most people lose money because they panic. They buy things to impress people online. They chase trends. They get jealous. They chase a lifestyle that exists only on Instagram. You're not going to be that person anymore. Not after listening to this. Because once you stop letting your emotions run your wallet, you become dangerous, in a good way. You stop buying things to fill a void. You stop caring about what strangers think. You stop trying to look rich and start building a life where you actually are rich, emotionally, mentally, financially. You finally start building a future that feels stable instead of chaotic. You don't need to be a genius to win with money. You don't need a fancy degree. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need emotional awareness and long-term thinking. You just need to understand yourself. That's how real wealth is built in this country. Quietly, consistently, patiently. Wealthy people don't wake up thinking, how fast can I get rich? They think, how long can I stay disciplined? They're not chasing hype. They're not jumping on every trend. They're not trying to show off. They're focused on building something that lasts. That's the mindset shift you're about to learn here. And once it clicks, you'll never look at money the same way again. Alright, let's dive deeper, because understanding money isn't just about what's in your bank account, it's about what's in your head. Most people think saving more or making more will fix everything. But that's like putting a band-aid on a broken leg. If your mindset is off, all the money in the world won't change your life. You can make 6 figures and still feel broke because your brain is wired to stress, compare, and panic. That's what keeps most people trapped. Here's the real deal. You're always going to make decisions influenced by your past experiences. Your upbringing, the people you grew up around, the fears and insecurities that got planted early, those are the silent directors of your financial life. That's why 2 people can walk into the exact same situation and come out with completely different outcomes. It's not luck, it's conditioning. And once you understand that, you start making smarter moves without even thinking about it. Emotions run the show more than we like to admit. Fear, pride, envy, greed, they all sneak into your decisions. You panic and sell stocks at the wrong time, you splurge when stressed, you overextend credit to look better than you feel. The average person plays the money game blindfolded, reacting to what everyone else is doing. But the wealthy? They play smart. They watch, they wait, they stay calm. They let their money work while everyone else is busy chasing the next hype. That's why mindset matters more than the dollar figure. And here's a fact that hits hard. Comfort is dangerous. Once you get used to a paycheck or lifestyle, you start thinking it's enough. You stop pushing. You stop questioning. Most Americans live like they're winning until they realize they've been stuck in a loop of mediocrity for years. The rich don't do that. They're constantly learning, adjusting, and staying ahead because they've trained their brains to value patience over instant gratification. Your habits are your real net worth. The little daily choices, how much you save, what you spend on, how you invest your energy, add up over time. Small wins build momentum. Small mistakes? They compound like debt. That's why the psychology of money isn't glamorous. It's boring at first, slow at first, but relentless. If you stick with it, it shapes your future like nothing else. Here's the kicker: social pressure is a killer. People want you to spend to impress them, chase trends, buy what everyone else has. That noise destroys wealth. The smartest people keep quiet. They don't announce their wins, they don't flash their lifestyle, they let results speak. They understand that power is silent, and influence is built quietly. That's a huge mindset most people miss. So, if you want to start building wealth that sticks, you have to break free from the hype. Ignore the flashy stuff, stop competing for attention, and focus on the fundamentals. Know yourself, master your impulses, and play the long game. Every dollar you save, every investment you make, every lesson you internalize, those are your weapons in a world full of distractions. At this point, most people are thinking about what they can spend next. You're thinking about what you can keep, grow, and protect. That's the shift that separates people who just make money from people who actually build wealth. It's not sexy, it's not flashy, but it works. Every single time. By the end of this audiobook, you'll understand the invisible forces shaping your financial decisions. You'll see how fear and ego influence your spending. You'll finally grasp why some people can turn almost nothing into a fortune while others squander opportunities their whole lives. And once you get it, you'll start making moves that feel effortless because they're guided by knowledge and control, not panic and impulse. Alright, let's get real. Most people think financial mistakes are about bad luck. It's about bad behavior. They buy things they can't afford, chase trends, or keep up with people who don't care about them. They react to social media, hype, and ego. That's how money disappears. Real wealth? It's built quietly, strategically, with patience. You can't rush this. If you do, you'll blow it before you even see it grow. Here's the thing. Money triggers emotions you don't even realize. Stress, pride, FOMO, greed, they all sneak into your decisions. When a sale pops up or your friend buys a new car, you want it too. That's normal. But most people let it control them. They spend to impress, not to build. The key? Awareness. Spot the impulse before it hits your wallet. That's how you win where most people lose. People also overestimate their control over money. They think if they work harder, spend smarter, or hustle more, they'll automatically win. But the truth is your mindset matters more than your grind. You can grind all day and still be broke if your psychology isn't aligned. Understanding your habits, your fears, and your triggers is more powerful than any paycheck. That's why psychology beats math every time. And let me drop this straight, people who stay broke the longest aren't lazy, they're reactive. They panic when bills hit, they overspend when they're happy, and they ignore long-term thinking. The wealthy? They act opposite. They plan, delay gratification, and stay calm when the world panics. They don't follow the crowd, they follow principles. And principles never go out of style. Now let's talk about risk. Most Americans see risk as scary. They avoid it. They play safe. But wealth isn't about playing it safe, it's about controlled risk. You have to learn when to push, when to hold back, when to invest in yourself. And you'll only figure that out if your mindset is tuned in. If you react emotionally, risk destroys you. If you think strategically, it builds you. Here's a secret most people never hear. Your money story is personal. Your past, your experiences, your upbringing, they all shape how you relate to cash. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop copying someone else's moves. Build your own rules, your own strategy. That's the difference between people who stay broke and people who quietly build wealth behind the scenes. By now, you're starting to see the pattern. Money isn't just a tool. It's a mirror. It shows your habits, your weaknesses, your strengths. Treat it right, and it becomes an extension of your discipline. Treat it wrong, and it becomes a chain holding you back. The power is in knowing which choice to make before the impulse hits. That's the edge most people will never have. And remember this, patience isn't just a word, it's a weapon. It separates people who get rich from people who chase hype. Wealth doesn't come overnight. It comes quietly, consistently, and relentlessly. Learn to delay gratification, stay aware, and keep your focus. That's how fortunes are built, and that's what this audiobook is teaching you. So, if you're still listening, congratulations. You're ahead of 90% of people who never even pause to think about why they spend, why they save, or why they lose money. Keep paying attention, and by the end, you'll see money like it's a tool, not a master. You'll start winning quietly, confidently, and consistently, exactly how it's meant to be. Alright, now let's get into the stuff most people never talk about. The real traps. The money mistakes that silently destroy wealth while everyone else is distracted chasing the next trend. Most Americans think they're smart with money, but 9 out of 10 are making the same errors over and over without even noticing. And that's why they stay stuck. First, they confuse income with wealth. Just because you're making more money doesn't mean you're winning. I see people pull in 6 figures, buy a flashy car, and feel like kings, but behind the scenes, they're drowning in bills and debt. Real wealth isn't about how much hits your account, it's about how much you keep, how much grows, and how smartly you use it. Second, they let lifestyle creep control their decisions. As soon as their paycheck grows, their expenses explode too. They upgrade everything, house, car, gadgets, because they want to look successful, not because it makes sense. That's a fast track to broke. The wealthy? They stay grounded. They live below their means, invest the rest, and let results build quietly over time. Third, people let fear dominate their choices. Fear of missing out, fear of losing money, fear of taking risks, it paralyzes them. They overreact, panic sell, or hoard cash uselessly. Meanwhile, those who master money use fear as a signal, not a stop sign. They assess risk, they plan, and they act strategically. That's the real edge, the calm in the chaos that most people never develop. Fourth, they ignore self-education. Most people think money knowledge comes from a paycheck, a degree, or a YouTube video they skim once. Wrong. Wealthy people read, they learn, they surround themselves with smarter minds, and they constantly sharpen their financial skills. They don't just work for money, they let money work for them because they understand it deeply. Fifth, they forget the power of delayed gratification. Instant wins feel good, but they're destructive long-term. The secret to building lasting wealth is doing what sucks now so your future self wins. Skip the flashy purchases, invest consistently, stay disciplined. The payoff isn't instant, but when it comes, it's massive. Here's the part most people miss. Money is emotional. You can study finance all day, but if your mind isn't trained, your emotions will sabotage every smart move you try to make. That's why psychology is more important than strategy. Master your mind, and the money follows naturally. Ignore it, and strategy alone won't save you. By the end of this audiobook, you'll see the difference clearly. You'll recognize the traps before you fall into them. You'll think twice before spending, before investing, before reacting. You'll start acting like the people who quietly win, not the ones shouting online about their latest purchase or lost opportunity. And remember, this isn't about showing off. It's about control. About playing the long game. About letting your money grow quietly while the world panics. That's the psychology of money. That's how you build a foundation so strong, no hype, no trend, no pressure can shake it. And once you get this, you'll never look at money the same way again. Alright, this is it, the part where it all comes together. If you've been listening this far, you're already ahead of most people who never even think about why they spend, save, or invest. Now it's time to put everything into action. Because knowing the psychology of money is useless if you don't actually apply it. First, stop reacting. Stop letting fear, hype, or ego dictate your moves. Most people blow cash because they see someone else living a flashy life online and think they have to match it. Don't. Keep your own lane. Your money is a tool, not a social statement. Real winners make moves quietly, consistently, and strategically, while everyone else is chasing likes and trends. Second, embrace delayed gratification. This is the one habit that separates people who win from people who stay stuck. It sucks in the moment to skip a purchase or invest instead of spending, but 10 years from now, you'll be thanking yourself. Every millionaire you admire did this without announcing it. They delayed, they focused, they invested in themselves and their future, not their image. Third, make your money work for you. Don't just earn it. Put it in positions that generate more money, more opportunities, more freedom. Learn to see investments not as risk but as tools. Risk isn't your enemy. Ignorance is. And once you understand your own tendencies, your triggers, and your patterns, risk becomes your ally instead of a trap. Fourth, respect money as a reflection of your discipline. Every choice you make tells a story. Every dollar you save, spend, or invest reflects who you are inside. If your decisions are impulsive, your life will feel chaotic. If your decisions are intentional, your life builds stability, freedom, and options. That's the invisible power most people never notice. Money reflects your mindset. Finally, remember, wealth is quiet. Power is quiet. Confidence is quiet. Flashy lifestyles, loud purchases, and showing off? That's the distraction. True success is strategic, patient, and persistent. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to prove it. You just have to live it. And over time, the results speak louder than words ever could. So here's your takeaway: master your mind first. Understand your habits, your fears, your triggers. Make decisions with clarity instead of emotion. Delay gratification. Let your money work for you. Play the long game. Protect your freedom, protect your options, and focus on building lasting wealth instead of chasing instant gratification. If you take even one principle from this audiobook and apply it today, you'll start thinking differently tomorrow. You'll start acting differently next week. And if you stick with it, the life you build over the next decade will be completely different from the one most people live. Quiet, consistent, patient, intentional. That's how wealth is really made. And now you know the psychology behind it. Use it wisely. Play smart. Win big. And stay disciplined, because the grind never stops. But with the right mindset, you're unstoppable. If this hit you even a little, then don't stop here. Real growth starts when you keep going. So if you're serious about leveling up your mindset, your money, and your whole future, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and dive into the next audiobook on the channel. Your life doesn't change in one day, but it can change today. And this moment? Yet, this could be the one that starts it all.